Hey, what's going on? This is Sarah Lee Day, and you're watching Dubsado Tidbits, the things you need to know about Dubsado delivered in bite-sized pieces. Lately, we've been talking about the different template areas in Dubsado, and today we're going to move on to packages. Now, packages is just another name for the services or the products or whatever it is that you're selling your customers. That's just what Dubsado calls it. They call it a package. When you first get to the packages section on your trial account, you're going to see that we have several listed over here as examples, and all of the packages that you create will be listed in this list. When you click on each one, you'll see the details over here on the center of the screen. Up here at the top, you can switch between packages and discounts. Discounts is actually a brand new feature Dubsado just rolled out a couple of weeks ago, so that's really exciting. We'll get into that in a minute. With under packages, when you're ready to create a new one, you're going to come up here and click Add Package. And the first thing you'll want to do is give it a name. So click up here to edit the name. Let's just say this is my workflow strategy package. Now this name up here is important because that is how it's going to show on your proposals, on your invoices. So just keep that in mind that this is going to be client facing. Next, we want to add a new line item. So this is going to be the invoice item name, and I'm just going to make this the same, workflow strategy. If I want to, I can give it a description. So let's say 1 hour strategy call. Quantity. Default quantity is probably going to be at least 1. And then your price. Now, if what you're selling comes in multiples of more than that, so let's just say if this was a package where you would actually get multiple hours of strategy, I could do, maybe this was 2 hours at $3.49 each, and that would give you the subtotal over here. It really just depends on your products and services, how you set that up, but default quantity should be at least 1. That way, when this is selected or added to a proposal, it's going to calculate 1 times the price here to give you your subtotal. Tax. Now, if you have to charge taxes on the things that you sell, you'll have your tax item here. If you remember, we set this up under the chart of accounts, and that's where you'd be able to edit that. If you need to add a new tax item, you can do that straight from here and just put the name of it and the percentage, and you can add that on the fly. That'll add that automatically to your chart of accounts. Over here under category, again, these are the categories that we set up in chart of accounts, so that should already be populating with whatever you set those up as, and you would basically just want to pick the one that makes the most sense for this product. And if you need to create a new category, you can always come over here and click New Category, put in the name and the category type, and click Create. And that will also, on the fly, create a new category in your chart of accounts. Be careful with doing that though. You can get really easily carried away and just add a whole bunch of new categories. But we want to make sure that our categories mean something, and we're rolling up all of the packages that we sell and all of the revenue that we generate under specific category headings so we can see what products and services are bringing in the most revenue. All right, once you have finished putting that information in, then you would come down here and click Add Item. And now you can see we have our item here, the workflow strategy. It's a 1 hour strategy call. This is our category in the chart of accounts. Quantity, the default quantity is 1. There's not a discount listed. There's not any tax on this. This is the price and my subtotal. Now, if I needed to change something in that line item, I would come click this little down arrow right here and then click Edit. And that would take me straight back into the screen where I can just edit this information and make any changes that I need to, and then just click Save. All right, now if this workflow strategy package was actually something that consisted of multiple items that I wanted to show on the invoice in different line items, then I could come here and click New Line Item, and add something else. So let's just say this is a call recording of our workflow strategy call, and that's a quantity of 1. If I wanted to add this as an additional charge, I could add a charge here. If I wanted this to just be a separate line item, but without an additional charge, I could just leave that as a 0, and it'll still show up on the invoice, but the price for this piece of it will be 0. So I'm going to, just to show you how this works, I'm going to put that back in there, choose my category, and click Add Item. Okay, so now you can see I have 2 line items that are going to show for this workflow strategy package. And each of these line items has their own description, their own category, their own price, subtotal, and the subtotal down here will add them together, so the total of the package is $3.99. Now let's just add one more, and we'll call this workflow strategy map. Flowchart of workflow strategy 1, and I'll make this one an included item. So there's not an additional charge on that. Click Add, and again we see it here. Price is 0, so our total is still $3.99, but it still has it there as a separate line item. All right, now if we're done creating our package, we can click here to return to packages. And you can see our workflow strategy package here with the 3 different line items that are here. If I wanted to make a copy of this and duplicate this, I could click this duplicate button here, and that just made a copy down here. And if I wanted to edit that copy, I would click this gear icon, and that takes me in here to edit it. I can change the name. Let's say this is a 2-hour strategy package, and I would want to come change this to a 2-hour strategy, and we'll just put a quantity of 2 in here, make that the default, save that. Now we have our workflow strategy 2-hour call, 2 times the hourly rate of $3.49 puts you at $6.98. And everything else will keep the same. Return to packages. Now I have my 2-hour strategy and my regular workflow strategy. All right, and that's it for today's tidbit. For more information about receiving updates, requesting future episodes, or getting help with your own Dubsado account, take a look at the links in the description below this video or visit sarahleeday.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.